All right, so this is where we last left off on the Chapter 5 review. We just completed understanding how LIFO works with the returns and allowances as well as beginning inventory. So now we're going to be moving on to question number 9 here, where we're going to be doing the last inventory costing method, which is going to be periodic weighted average, okay? And assume that all purchases were made on an account. And again, we're going to round our answers to the nearest penny. So in this case, we're starting all over again. So this time it's October 5th. They're not connected in any kind of way. So here we're starting on October 5th, where we purchased 800 toys at $1 each with a freight of 45. Okay. So this is question number 9. Okay. Okay. And it's 10. Question number 9. Awesome. Okay, so now we're doing weighted average. Okay. So today is October 5th. We purchased 800 units at $1 each with a freight of 45. Okay. October 5th, purchased 800 units at $1 with a freight of 45. So again, this time we're doing weighting average. So in this case, our calculations is only going to differ by one formula. Okay. So in this case, what is my purchase price?
800.
Is 800 plus 45 will give me a total cost of
845.
845. And then, do I need to solve for my cost per item?
No.
Not for this one, because this is weighted average. We want to wait till we get our totals of everything and then calculate our average cost per item. Okay, so in this case, no, you don't necessarily need to do. You can do it for practice purposes only. Most cases, if you only have one batch of inventory that you purchase, then yes. But in this case, we already know this scenario is going to go on beyond that. So we're going to make definitely more purchases of inventory than just this one. Okay. So let's see what happened next. October 7 rolls around. And again, you end up returning 50 broken toys for a full refund. Okay? 50 broken toys for a full refund. Okay, so you return 50 at what unit price?
$1.
So therefore, your refund is for $50. Now, if you want to, you can do this, because then now this batch of inventory, you know that you end up returning 50 units. For the first example, I'll go ahead and create that goods available table so you can keep track of it. But at the end of the day, you won't be needing to, okay? Because you're gonna end up calculating what your total goods available is at the very end. But in this case, if you're curious, right, I'll go ahead and do it for you for this one right here. So goods available. Now again, in weighted average, we don't care to keep track of our inventory, right? But for this instance, right, we know for a fact that we purchased 800 but end up returning 50 units. So I'm at 750, and therefore, because I end up getting a refund, I had $845. Now I got a $50 refund, so now I'm at $795. Okay? So again, we could do this for now, and I'm going to show you that you don't absolutely don't need to do this. Okay? All right, October 10. Okay, we end up purchasing 550 toys at $1.25 with a freight of 30. 550, 125, and 30. Okay, so 550 at 125 gave me 68750 plus $30 worth of freight should give you $717.50. Let me double confirm that. You purchased 550 at $1.25 with a freight of 30. Okay. So in this case, 550 on October 10. Okay. So 687.50 plus 30 gives you 717.50. Okay. Let's see what happened next. October 15. You end up purchasing an additional 1,050 toys at $1.50 with the freight costing you $50. So 10.50, 150, and 50 on October 15. So what is 10.50 at $1.50?
$1,575.
Good. Plus $50 freight.
$1,625.
Good. Okay. So now that I got my third batch of inventory, right? That means my assumption is that whatever happened on October 10, every single item there was fine. So in this case, I can carry that into my cost of goods or goods available. Okay, for that 717.50. Okay. See what happened next. October 18, you end up returning 150 toys. They were the wrong color. Oh, sorry, they were the wrong model. But since they sent you the wrong item model itself, you end up accepting a 25% discount this time. Okay, so 150 toys were the wrong model, and you are willing to accept 25%. Okay. So in this case, did you actually return the product? No, but you did end up keeping it. Now, at what price was this?
$150.
$1.50. So in this case, you need to be able to calculate this. You had 150 of those units at $1.50, and you're willing to take a 25% discount. So how much is your total refund going to be? What's your total refund here? Okay, 150 of those units.
$45.
Okay. Okay, hold on. I got 46. I mean 56. So let's do that again. So 150 of those units at $1.50. And you want 25% because they were the
Oh, I
wrong
did
model.
20, that's why.
Okay. So it should be $56.25.
There we go.
There you go. Okay, so then now that I have a refund, because that means all 1,050 units, 150 of them were discounted. So therefore, it didn't change the total quantity, but it did change the total value here because it was $16.25, but I end up getting a refund for $56.25. So I am at I'm at $1568.75. Okay. All right, let's see what else happened. So then October 20th rolls around, and we end up purchasing 300 toys at $1.75 with a freight of 15. 300, 175, 15 for the freight. $300.75 with a freight of 15 on October 20th.
Okay, the purchase price was $525.
Good. Plus 15.
Be 540.
Yes, 540. Okay. And then on October 25th, you end up returning 50 defective toys for a full refund. Okay. You end up returning 50 defective toys for a full refund. So in this case, you're returning 50. It cost you, or in this case, you purchased it at $1.75, and you're getting a full refund.
87.50.
You're gonna get $87.50. Yes, correct. Okay, so again, now you need to adjust this batch because you didn't purchase 300. Whoops. You end up returning 50 of them to get 250. And same thing here. You're going to get 540, and you got a refund for $87.50. So therefore, you're at $452.50. So in this case, all right. So all 4 batches that I've purchased, here they all are, and they're all adjusted except for one batch. Okay. And the last thing that you have here on October 31st is that you have a total of 1,200 toys on hand. So 1,200 is what you ended with. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to plug in right here, 1,200. Okay. And let's go ahead and figure out and plug in all of our numbers. So again, you can go ahead and solve for your totals here, as well as your totals for your goods available and your purchase returns and allowances. Okay, so in this case, what was the grand total amount of units that I purchased?
2,700.
2,700. Okay, at a grand total purchase price of $3,587.50. What was the total amount of freight?
140.
140, giving you a grand total of $3,727.50. Okay. We can go ahead and do this later. Okay. How many items did you return?
100.
100. At a grand total refund of
193.75.
193 and 75 cents. Okay. So now that I solved for those two, right? I'll show you what happens when we get our goods available. Okay. So in this case, let's plug in our numbers for our net purchases. So we purchased a total of 2,700 units at $3,587.50. We end up returning 100 units at a total of refund for $193.75. So therefore, that should subtract out, giving you 2,600 units at a total of $3,393.75. Freight, once again, adds 0 to quantity, but it does add to the cost of 140. So in this case, we're going to add our values up together, right? So you should have 2,600 units, and you have $3,533.75. No beginning inventory, right? So if we carry down my net purchases becomes my goods available. Now let's go ahead and check out that goods available. Okay? Let's check out that goods available and test to see if this is true or not. So let's go ahead and sum up my numbers here. I got a grand total of 2,600 units at a grand total cost of, I don't know why I'm doing a formula there. At a grand total of $3,533.75. So here, my goods available ended up being all of this. And guess what? I have my total quantity and my total cost. And I didn't have to do my table like this because does it even matter whether I keep track of my my batches of inventory that I purchase? No.
No.
No, because in this case, I don't care. So in this case, you don't need to have this extra table when you're dealing with weighted average because at the end of the day, you're going to end up getting the total amount of what you have available to sell and what the total value is. So in this case, what I can do here is I am able to solve for my average cost per item now. Because now I have my total cost of $3,533.75 and I have my total quantity of 2,600. So therefore, I can solve for my average cost per item. And what is my average cost per item right now?
$1.36.
Okay, $1.36 is more like $1.3591346, right? So again, now that I know that I have 1,200 units left on hand, my assumption is I must have sold a total of 1,400, right? 12. If you have 26 minus 1,200, 1,400 should be your answer. So in this case, I can solve for both ending balance, or I can solve for my cost of goods sold because I have my average cost per item, right? If it's going to cost me on average 1.3591346, then I am able to solve for my I'm able to solve for my totals here because I don't care which batch came first or which batch came last. I just care about my grand total amount that I have, what the average cost per item is, and just taking my whole lump sum number and multiplying it by the average cost per item, right? So in this case, I have to use my equal round because I want rounded numbers. Okay, I want it to the nearest penny. So in this case, for my ending balance, I get 1630.96. And if I were to do the same thing to my cost of goods sold, I would have gotten $1,902.79. Okay, and let's go ahead and plug that into my inventory worksheet here. So is this statement true? If my cost of goods sold is $1902.79, I take my total goods available, subtract that. Do I get the same answer for my ending balance? And in this case, I do. I get $1,630.96. So again, boom, I'm done. Right? So then the next inventory worksheet that we do, since we have beginning inventory, I'm just going to solve for my average cost per item using my goods available column. Okay. All right. So again, told you this was the most easiest one because you don't have to keep track of your inventory. Simple, straightforward. We just care about gathering them all up together as a lump sum. Right? So let's go ahead and plug in our conversion entry. So what am I going to be recognizing? Okay, this one is
Toys. Cost of goods.
So in this case, I have the ability to just go ahead and just copy and paste things that I've done before. Right? Only thing I have to do is just change my description. Because this time, right, for my description, right, for my ending balance, I had 1,200 units. And I sold 1,400 units. And I returned 100 units. Okay. Now let's go ahead and map them out. What was the total value of my ending inventory?
$1,630.96.
Good. What was the total value of my cost of goods sold?
$1,902.79.
What was the total value of my returns and allowances?
$193.75.
What was my value of my total purchase price?
$3,587.50.
Good. And what was the total value of my freight?
$140.
140. And no beginning inventory. So therefore, if I run my formula, these two should match. Okay, so I got $3,727.50 on the left, $3,727.50 on the right. So in this case, boom, done. Okay. So again, what happens when I have beginning inventory for weighted average? Okay. So number 11 says continue with the inventory from question number 9, and your inventory method is periodic and weighted average. Assume that all purchases were made on account, and so on and so forth, right? Round to the nearest penny. So on October 31st, you have 1,200 toys on hand. Now in this case, right, from my previous inventory worksheet, I know I had 1,200, and guess what? I just combined them together. It didn't matter whether I had them first or had them last. They're all combined together, and that's the difference between the rest of them, right? In this case, you can just go ahead and carry the entire amount of 1,200 units at $1.359134 at 1630.96. Okay. So I can go ahead and just carry that amount over into my inventory worksheets for question number 11. Okay, so 1,200 units. Okay. Okay, for that 1630.96. Okay. Because here I'm already going to recognize that I have a total of 1,200 units at that 1630.96. Right? Now in this case, I don't really care for my average cost just because this average cost will eventually change because now I'm going to be purchasing new inventory. So in this case, this average cost doesn't even matter anymore to me. All I need to recognize is that I have 1,200 units at a grand total of 1630.96. Okay? So in this case, let's see what happened next. So it's November 5th. November 5th. We end up purchasing 600 units at $1.65 with a freight of 25. So 600, 165, 25. Okay. So what is my purchase price here?
$9.90.
$9.90.
1,015.
$1,015. And we don't care to solve for my average cost because it won't matter. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull down my formulas to help us calculate this. Okay, so let's see. November 7, you end up returning 100 broken toys for a full refund. So you end up having 100 broken toys. You purchase them for $1.65.
It'd be $65.
It'd be $165. Okay. Good, that's your refund. Now, in this case, does it matter for me to calculate that now? No, because at the end of the day, you're gonna you're gonna you're gonna add them all up eventually in your goods available. So you don't need to do anything to keep track of it. You're gonna eventually what you're gonna do here is because this is only one side of the accounting equation, right? Or in this case, one side of doing accounting, right? You're gonna have to make sure that you keep track of it when you receive your bill. That because you got the refund, you have to also apply a credit. So in this case, we're only looking at one side of things, right? Just inventory. All right, so now that we have my refund there, let's see what's next. November 10. We end up purchasing 700 toys at $1.80 with a freight of 40. So 700, 180, and 40. So what is 700 at 180?
1,260.
1,260 plus $40 worth of freight
Be 1,300 even.
be 1,300 even. Okay. Then November 20th, you end up purchasing an additional 500 toys at $1.85, okay, with a freight of 25. So 500, 185, and 25. So 500 at $1.85,
925,
925 plus 25,
950,
950. And this was on November 20th. Then on the 21st of November, you ended up returning 50 toys. They were the wrong color, but you were willing to accept a 20% discount. So 50 of those toys were the wrong color, but you were willing to accept 20% discount.
times 185,
Okay, so good.
0.50.
So 50 times 185 times 0.20. Good.
4625.
Ooh, do that again. We had
Not quite what I
50 units, right?
yeah,
At $1.25. I'm $1.85.
85. Yeah.
And it's only 20%.
Oh, okay. Better. Yeah, that explains it.
Okay.
I
All right.
did 50 again.
All right. No problem. Okay, so 1850 should be what you should get back.
Yes.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry. One more time, because now I got 23. 50
Okay.
times $1.85 times 25 cents.
Times
20 cents.
20, where it's only
There
20%.
we go. All right, I
Yes.
got it.
Yes. In this case, the wrong color is 20%. The model is 25% because they gave you a completely different product. In this case, they should reprimand you for way more than just a simple color.
Right.
So in this case, it's 20% for this one. Okay. All right. So let's see what happened next. All right. November 25th rolls around and you end up purchasing an additional 100 toys at $1.75 with a freight of 5. Okay, so November 25, 100 units at $1.75
175 and
plus.
the $5 that get to 180.
Excellent. So in this case, Again, that should be all. Okay. And the last thing that you have here is November 30th. You end up having 600 toys left on hand. 600 toys left on hand. So in this case, 600 is what you have left. Okay, so let's go ahead and sum up our totals for my purchases. We're also going to sum up the totals for my returns and allowances. Okay, so equal sum. You got 600 plus 700 plus 500 plus 100.
1900.
1900. Okay. Your total purchase price, go ahead and solve it for you, should be $3,350. What was my total freight?
95.
All right, 25 plus 25 is 50 plus 40 gives you 90 plus 5 gives you a total of 95. And then, of course, your grand total cost should be $3,445. Right? You could just simply just add these two numbers together and you should get the same answer. Okay. We have my beginning balances there, and now let's go ahead and sum up my total returns and allowances. So how many units did I return?
100.
Just 100 at a total refund for
183.50.
183.50. Okay. So you have everything that you need to go ahead and find out what the average cost is, right? So in this case, let's go ahead. We purchased a total of 1,900 units at a grand total, purchase price of $3,350. We ended up returning 100 units at a total cost of $183.50. Okay. So again, they should reduce your purchases. Okay. So now you get 1,800 units at $3,166.50. Okay. We have freight doesn't add to quantity, but it does add to your total cost, so $95. So that should get you your grand total of 1,800 units at a grand total cost of $3,261.50. Okay. All right. So then now we have beginning inventory, right? We carried over that 1,200 units at the 1630. Okay. And what we're going to do here is we need to carry our net purchases down to calculate our total goods available. So in this case, 1,200 plus 1,800 will give you a straight 3,000 units. And then when you add these two values together, you get a grand total of $4,892.46. So right here is your total goods available. So right here is where you can go ahead and solve for your average cost per item. Okay, so let's go ahead and first solve for what your total cost of goods sold is. If you had $3,000 3,000 units and you only have 600 left, your assumption is you must have sold a grand total of
2,400.
2,400. So in this case, this is where I can go ahead and calculate everything that I need to calculate, right? Starting with the first number that I need to calculate is going to be my average cost per item. If I have a grand total of $4,892.46 and I have a grand total quantity of 3,000, What is my average cost per item?
$1.630820.
Okay, good. So that means if that is my average cost per item, for every item that I sell, right, it's going to cost me $1.63.08200. Okay? And every item I have left available on hand is going to cost me 1.603820, right? So in this case, I can go ahead and calculate my numbers here, right? I can calculate whichever one I want to calculate first, whether it's my ending inventory or whether it is my cost of goods sold. Okay? So at the end of the day, right, whichever one that you solve for, okay, should give you a rough estimate of the correct answer. So in this case, for selling 2,400 units at $1.63.082, right? It's going to give me a grand total of $3,913.97. Okay? And therefore, my leftover remaining should be $978.49. Okay, for the 600 units left remaining. Okay. All right. Any questions for weighted average? So in this case, it's much more easier because you don't have to keep track of anything except for the goods available. And that's it. And you pretty much will get all your answers there. Okay. All right. So last but not least, let's finish off our conversion entry here. So what are you going to recognize? You should be recognizing everything here. Okay? And I'm going to copy and paste that here. Okay? And it's November 30th. Okay? Only difference is you had an ending balance of 600 toys. You sold 2,400 toys. And you end up returning, I think it was 100 units, right? Let's see. Yeah, you end up returning 100 units. Okay. So let's see. What was the total value of your ending inventory? $978.49. What was the total value of your cost of goods sold?
$3,913.
What was the total value of your returns and allowances?
350.
What was the total value of your purchases?
3,350.
Your freight?
95.
And your beginning balance of inventory?
1,630.
Right. And of course, last but not least, make sure that your journals, debits and credits match. So in this case, I got 5,796 on the left, 5,796 on the right. And that is it. Any questions in regards to weighted average?
No.
No.